Aloha, and welcome to another episode of Financial Education with Hawaii Central Federal Credit Union. I'm Amber Millsap, and I'm the Community Relations Officer at Hawaii Central. And before we get started today, I want to thank Olelo Community Media for all they're doing in the background here to help us get financial education out to our members, but also to the community at large. With me today, I have Kealaka'i Hussey, who is standing in for Herb, who was called away on other matters. Thank you so much for being with me today, Kealaka'i.
Thank you for having me, Amber.
Now, today, Kealaka'i is going to be talking about how to build a
cool
retirement pyramid,
Yes.
right? So, can you tell me, before we get started with
Sure.
your presentation here, I
Yeah.
understand you have one
I do.
prepared, but tell me a little bit about yourself, what
Yeah.
got you interested in financial planning?
Sure. I've been with Winter Financial since 2008. We're a small family-owned business. We mostly do retirement planning for state retirees. And I've been in the insurance industry for a few years, but since we had our first son in 2016, I really started to understand or be appreciative of knowing how to financially plan for the future.
Yeah, sounds like you have your hands full. You have first son? How
I have
many?
two now. I have a 7 and 3-year-old.
Wow, you
Yeah.
do have your hands full.
We do.
So I understand we do have a presentation prepared. You have a presentation prepared. Do you want to go ahead? We pull up those slides?
Sure. Thanks. We need to start at the top of our pyramid, which is going to be our Social Security and Medicare money. This is our government-funded retirement plans that we don't really have much control over. So it's at the top because it's also the very smallest part of our retirement. In the middle, we're going to have our 401ks and our IRAs, which is going to be a big chunk of our retirement. And at the bottom is going to be our emergency medical money, the money that we set aside to protect our family in case we're not going to be around. Yeah. But retirement planning, it really starts at the ground level. It really starts with first having a job. Yeah. I mean, without having a job,
right?
we don't have anything, right? Yeah.
Got to have some income.
Got to have some income. It's important to have income. When we have a job, it also enables us to qualify for things later on, like the Social Security and the Medicare. Yeah, to qualify for those government-funded retirement plans, you need to be working for 40 quarters.
40 quarters.
40 quarters.
Explain that to me.
It's a fancy way of saying 10 years. No.
So 40 quarters of a year?
40 quarters general, which would be 10 years. Breaking, 40 quarters of a year. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's assuming that not everybody works every quarter of the year. Sometimes we take a leave of absence, so it covers that point. Other than Social Security, there's Medicare, and there's also your pre-tax savings plans.
Okay.
Yeah, which are funded through your payroll, which is it's your 401k. But we're going to discuss that later on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to bring up the next slide then?
Yeah, please. On the ground level is going to be our savings accounts we might have at the credit union. It's important to have immediate access to our income. And then when we talk about our income, we want to say that we put at least 20% of our income into a checking or savings account. Yeah.
So basically you're saying let's not put all of that
Let's
into
not put
retirement.
all of our money into our retirement. We need money for everyday living. I know my wife and I, with our 2 kids, we're always paying for something. We're paying rent, or we're paying car bills, all those everyday things, McDonald's, all those, all those things. So it's good to have easy access to money.
Why not just pull it out of that 401k?
Well, we're going to take
I'm
some
just
penalties
kidding.
on that one. Well, we will
Penalty.
discuss.
Okay.
We'll discuss that in a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we can go to the next slide. When we look at the very bottom of our pyramid, we have it as the biggest part of our pyramid, mostly because when we think about retirement, we're not only retiring for ourselves, we retire for our family. So we have the bottom, the biggest part of our pyramid, it's going to be our foundation. It's going to be our money for medical emergencies, as well as our life insurance money. But we can start with our money for medical emergencies.
Mm-hmm.
When we think medical emergencies, we think
I have healthcare.
right? Healthcare.
I do,
we
right?
think all of our medical insurance, but it's medical insurance covers our medical bills. It covers doctor visits, but it doesn't cover us when we're not at work.
So, well, I mean, I might be out of work and I do have medical coverage. Are you talking about
Loss of income.
oh, loss of
Loss
income?
of income.
Okay.
Yeah. So and these are very affordable plans with very little pre-qualifications,
Mm-hmm.
which is very good to note because in Hawaii, unfortunately, there's people with health issues,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it's hard for us to get medical insurance because of that, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But these home health care plans, this emergency medical money plans, are not only affordable, but you don't have. There's very minimal medical testing.
So you said some people might not qualify for
Or
life insurance.
Life
but
insurance.
I have a plan. It's a life insurance plan, I think term, and it has something called a advanced
accelerated death benefit rider.
Okay.
Yeah. So
is
that
it similar
acts
to that?
Similar to that in the way that if those accelerated benefit riders
Mm-hmm.
cover you if you have a chronic, critical, or terminal illness. This emergency medical money that I'm talking about is just for anything. You could break your arm at work, you know? It's not a critical illness. You're going to go back to work,
Mm-hmm.
but it will help give you income and help you pay for bills.
Oh, okay. I think I've heard of these like short-term
Short-term,
income
yeah.
protection, long-term care.
Yeah. Long-term
cancer
care,
insurance, those sorts
yeah.
of things.
Very similar.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so we always want to make sure that we protect our families and ourselves financially if we're out of work. And that would be, so that's our emergency medical money.
A stream of income.
Yeah.
A constant stream of income.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we can go on to the next slide, please, which is going to be our life insurance. Oh. We'll come back to the 401ks, but I do want to touch on the life insurance, especially because if something happens to us and we pass away early,
Mm-hmm.
we need to make sure that our family's protected.
Mm-hmm.
And having life insurance is the best way to protect our family,
Mm-hmm.
especially for younger families. I really do suggest that we purchase a term insurance policy, which is going to be your cheapest, most affordable life insurance, but with your highest death benefit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know I purchased mine when I purchased my home. I guess the bank, they kind of market it to you
Mm-hmm.
to cover the mortgage,
Cover the mortgage
in the
in
event
case, yeah.
you pass away. And I thought, yeah, I really would like my home to pass to my children
Right.
and be able to pay that off.
Yeah.
Or either they want to sell it, but at least they had the life insurance. They could either cover that home
Right.
or decide to sell it and they get the life insurance benefit. So I do understand what you're saying about, once you have kids,
Once
you
you have
start
kids,
thinking about those sorts
or
of things.
what you
right?
just said, even if you don't have kids, but you have a mortgage
Mm-hmm.
and you have a spouse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is important.
Yeah. Life insurance is one of the most basic parts about retirement planning, but also when we really think about retirement planning, especially when we have a job and a career, we think about our 401ks
Mm-hmm.
and our IRAs, which is the middle of our pyramid. So the 401k is going to be your employer-funded retirement plan.
Mm-hmm.
It's where they take your money and they invest it, put it in an investment vehicle, and over the years while you work, it's going to be earning interest.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also your IRAs, which is your individual retirement accounts, which is
You can get those where?
you can get those through your bank,
Mm-hmm.
or you can talk to your own retirement planner or financial advisor.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. So what's the difference between, a 401k and an IRA, why would I choose one or over the other, or do I choose both, or if I can choose both, should I choose
If you
both?
can choose both and you have the income to support it, choose both.
Mhm.
But if you want to put more money away, put it into your 401k
Mhm.
because the maximum amount for that is $22,000,
Mhm.
whereas the IRA can only put in $6,000
Oh, per year.
per year.
Okay.
And also, if you have an employer that has a 401k match,
Mhm.
you need to maximize on that so it's basically getting free money.
Definitely. We
Definitely.
like free money.
We love
right?
free money. We do. Yeah.
So, are there any other benefits or differences between 401ks and IRAs? Key differences between them?
Well, one is self-funded,
Mm-hmm.
and then one is sorry, not government, employer funded,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all it's all about minimizing the amount of taxes you pay.
This is with the IRA or the 401?
The 401k.
Oh, with the 401k,
Yes, you
it's
can
tax deferred.
It's tax deferred.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I guess that comes, I've noticed that now, I look at tax brackets,
Mhm.
and if you're concerned about how much you're going to pay at the end of the year, you might put a little bit more into that
Yeah, you want to
401k.
put as much as you can.
Yeah.
As much as you can.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Maybe put yourself in a lower tax bracket, though, right?
As much as possible.
If you can. And still have some money for savings, right?
Exactly.
Let's not
Exactly.
forget about savings and
Yeah.
liquid cash. Okay.
And then we can go on to the next slide. And this is where we look at the top of the pyramid. It's going to be our Social Security. And as we talked about earlier, it's going to be 40 quarters of employment to qualify. The earliest access to this is going to be at 62 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And a full retirement age is 66 years old or 67, depending on your date of birth. It's important to understand the age, your full retirement age,
Mhm.
because that'll help you maximize the amount of Social Security you'll receive at retirement.
So
The longer you work, and then the older you are at that age, the more of a benefit you'll get.
okay.
Yeah.
So are you saying no early draw, or are you saying
As much as
just
possible,
be careful?
just be careful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So 40 quarters. Now,
40 quarters.
again, that's 10 years.
10 years.
Okay. And when can we start drawing, or when is it recommended that we start drawing on our Social Security?
As late as you can. As long as the longest you can put it off, maybe 65 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I recall there being some sort of time or age requirement to start drawing on. Is that
401ks
the
and
401ks
IRAs
and
is
IRAs,
72
okay.
years old.
Oh, 72.
So
okay.
that's going to be our required minimum distribution age.
Okay.
Yeah. That the government's going to say, like, hey, there's all this money that's sitting over here. You haven't touched it, but it keeps growing and growing.
Mm-hmm.
We want to start taxing you on this. So it's time to start taking out money now.
Well, what if I have a Roth IRA?
A Roth IRA is going to work a little differently,
Mm-hmm.
where you're going to be paying the taxes on the money before you put it into your account.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So that means they won't be taxing it.
They won't be taxing it,
72.
but it's a very small amount of money that you can put into a Roth account.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Whereas a 401k, I mean, it's the best investment vehicle that you can put your money into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Roth is the same as a traditional, right? The amount that you can put into it?
No,
Or-
it's different.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. It's less.
Less.
Oh, interesting. I didn't realize that.
Okay. So with all of this information that I provided today,
Mm-hmm.
when we look back at our retirement pyramid, if we want to overview it,
You want to bring up that
that
slide 2 again?
yeah. If we look at it, The retirement pyramid doesn't have to go in a certain order, but it's made in this way so that we do understand. So we have a visual understanding of how we should prioritize the different aspects of retirement. The bottom should always, the bottom, which is going to be our emergency medical money and our life insurance money, it should be the biggest part of our retirement plan, because we do want to protect our family financially as much as possible. The middle of our pyramid is going to be our 401k and our IRA, because we spend our whole life working, and this is all that time we have working. We want to be putting like 5% of our income away, so that while we work, our money is working for us at the same time. We put our money into these really good investment vehicles so that when we hit retirement, we have a little extra. And at the very top of our pyramid, we're going to have our Social Security and our Medicare money. And it's at the top because it's the smallest part of our retirement. We don't have much influence over it.
Well, it sounds like the retirement pyramid is just really a delicate balance between planning and balancing your everyday life expenses with
really is.
your goals later in life.
Right.
So it's not, I guess it's interesting. I never really thought about how I guess budget, huh?
Yeah, I guess budgeting is the best thing to do. If I could recommend anything to an individual, whether they have a family or not, is after getting a job and starting a career, is to just lay out a budget. Look at all of the things you spend your money on, whether it's your food, your gas, your car. Jot down everything. So then look at your income, see what you have, and see how much you can put away. And take those general rules of thumb is follow those, the 20% in your checking account, 5% into an IRA or 401k, and then you have a little bit left and see what you can budget out.
So what would you say to someone who says, I have no money to budget, to save?
Then it's okay though. It really is okay. Sometimes life is like that, where we just don't have enough money to save.
Well, I think a lot of us, though, sometimes it's like, you could skip Starbucks this morning, right?
Yeah, we could. We could eat at home more. Yeah, besides budgeting, a really good way to plan for retirement is just to stay healthy, especially nowadays, post-COVID. I think we've definitely seen how fragile life can be. Taking care of your health is probably one of the best and cheapest things to do to make sure that when you get older, you have enough money.
And that you're happy in retirement, right?
And you're happy, yeah.
I mean, a lot of us look at retirement as, those golden years where we're going to be traveling or whatever, but if you're not healthy, it's no fun.
And if you're not around, it's true.
Okay, I didn't think about it like that, but it's true.
It is
right?
very true.
Yeah. What's the point?
What's the point? Stay healthy, live within your means, live a very, very healthy and happy life.
Well, I really appreciate your time with us today, Kealaka. It's been wonderful just chatting with you. And we miss her, but it's been good to have you here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's good to see someone different. For once. I guess he'll be joining us maybe next time.
He'll definitely be here.
Will you be coming back?
Hopefully. Hopefully you'll have me again.
Oh, of course we will.
Thank you so much.
Okay. And with that, I want to say thank you so much to our viewers at home who are joining us. And thank you to Olelo Community Media again for their help in the background. And with that, I want to say mahalo and ahui ho.